Loved by God is a deeply pastoral and restorative work in which T.D. Jakes addresses one of the most foundational yet misunderstood truths of the Christian faith. God's love is unconditional, intentional, and redemptive. The book confronts emotional wounds, guilt, shame, rejection, and distorted self-worth that prevent believers from fully receiving and living out God's love. Jakes emphasizes that many believers know about God intellectually but do not experience His love emotionally, and this disconnect weakens faith, identity, and purpose. 1. Understanding God's love beyond religion. Jakes distinguishes relationship from religion. Religion often emphasizes rules, performance, and fear. God's love emphasizes grace, acceptance, and restoration. He teaches that God does not love us because we are perfect. God loves us so that we can be transformed. God's love is not a reward for good behavior. It is the foundation for spiritual growth. 2. Healing from rejection, guilt, and shame. A major theme of the book is inner healing. Jakes explains how childhood rejection, parental absence, abuse, failure, broken relationships can distort how people perceive God. Many project their pain onto God, assuming God is distant, God is angry, God is disappointed. Jakes counters this by teaching that God's love pursues the broken, God's love restores dignity, God's love redefines identity. 3. You are not defined by your past. The book strongly confronts self-condemnation. Jakes teaches that sin may affect your history, but it does not cancel your destiny. Failure does not disqualify you from God's love. God specializes in loving people in process. He emphasizes biblical examples showing that God often chooses flawed individuals to demonstrate the power of grace. 4. Identity, seeing yourself as God sees you. One of the most transformative sections of the book focuses on identity. Jakes explains, many people see themselves through pain, culture, or failure. God sees people through redemption and purpose. Key truths: you are not an accident. You are intentionally created. You are deeply valued by God. When believers accept God's love, they gain confidence, emotional stability, courage to obey God fully. 5. Love as the source of obedience and faith. Jakes teaches that fear-driven obedience produces burnout. Love-driven obedience produces joy and consistency. True faith flows from the assurance that God is for you, not against you. God's instructions are expressions of love, not control. Love becomes the motivation for prayer, holiness, service, sacrifice. 6. God's love in times of pain and crisis. The book addresses suffering honestly. Jakes clarifies that pain does not mean absence of God's love. Trials do not cancel God's promises. God's love sustains during storms, refines character, prepares believers for greater purpose. Even when life feels unfair, God remains faithful and loving. 7. Living loved, a transformed lifestyle. Jakes concludes by urging readers to live from a place of being loved, not striving for approval. Living loved means forgiving yourself, forgiving others, walking in peace, loving others without fear. A person who knows they are loved by God becomes emotionally healthy, spiritually strong, purpose-driven, compassionate. Key takeaways: God's love is unconditional and personal. Your past does not disqualify you. Healing begins when you receive God's love. Identity is restored through divine love. Love, not fear, sustains faith and obedience. Who this book is for: believers struggling with guilt, shame, or rejection, Christians battling low self-worth, those seeking emotional and spiritual healing, anyone wanting a deeper, more personal experience of God's love. Final thought: loved by God reminds readers that before you do anything for God, you are already loved by Him. This revelation becomes the bedrock for healing, purpose, confidence, and a victorious Christian life. For more insightful and faith-lifting audiobooks, do well to like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching and listening to us today.